Welcome back, Satsang, to the Yogi and Disneyland show. I'm your host, Eben Sterling. I'd like to welcome all my fellow truth finders into this wonderful Satsang, this community. It's so good to be back. I have a funny confession to make, which is that I seem to have skipped a chapter in the book, which blows my mind. Kind of unbelievable to me that I would skip right past the Pirates of the Caribbean, which is generally the first ride that I will ride when I go to Disneyland, which is why I put it in the book where it is. And pretty much my favorite ride. And I'm still kind of wondering if maybe I already recorded this, but I sure can't find it. So I guess I just have to accept and admit that I skipped right by it. Oh, which I love. Just to be fallible, to be human, to make mistakes is a wonderful gift. It's all grace, and I feel like we're going to get on a little Shiva jag today. Very excited about that. So having a little humbling, not to overstate it, but seems to be the language of Shiva in my life. Whatever it takes to destroy this ego that's clinging to this idea, this delusion of perfection, to me is Shiva, the face of Shiva working in my life to bring me back to consciousness of grace, that I am not running the show, that I am not all powerful, to bring me back to what Bill Wilson in Alcoholics Anonymous put forward as one of the greatest characteristics of personality and spirituality, which is humility. So I'm going to go ahead and light some sage today. I'm going to go back to lighting the candles. Got the puja out, invisible. Got Durga, Kali over here to the side. Love this face right here of the Cheshire Cat, the grinning Cheshire Cat as the tiger. Tiger transport for Durga right here over my right shoulder. So let's do it. Off we go to Neverland, to the lighting of the sage. Got a nice fresh sprig here, ready to go. Straight out of Matilaha Canyon in Ojai. If you've never been there, I highly recommend it. As soon as this COVID nonsense, craziness, comes to some sort of end, get vaccinated or whatever it is, they should be opening up Ecotopia again in Matilaha Canyon, which is a wonderful hot springs that I encourage people to visit and do some Shiva Bhava while you're there. And don't tell them I told you, but you might find some awesome white sage on just the side of the road there on the way up or back, and you can stop in and grab a little piece if it's not too destructive. So I've got my sage burning, smelling like the Sespi in Ojai. Got a nice photo here of my grandparents to bring in the ancestors, as they say. That's me on the right with my dreadlocks, my Shiva locks are pulled back. You can't really see them. My brother's in there too, which is just wonderful. My grandfather, Clarence Sr. And oh gosh, my Doro, my Dorothy, my grandma, the divine mother of my heart, all together. Love that we're all wearing black. Oh, so wonderful in Ojai. Oh, my puja candle. Beeswax. And holding up the grandparents here. The Divine Mother is Guadalupe. All right. Ancestors brought in, the mother, the father, the grandparents, the brother. Kalo Gandhi Ji over here, if you can see that. The Mahatma, the Great Spirit. It's like a fashion show. Today I'm wearing street canoe. But I do want to show this. He's the artist that did the Mr. Toad ride illustration in the book, which if you haven't gotten a copy yet, I encourage you to hit me up on Instagram at Yogi in Disneyland for a copy. And you can see his illustration. I can find it real quick and show it to you. Where is that toad? Another one of my totems. That's Street Canoe. And I love this shirt that I got from him. It's very Ram green. I'm wearing all green today, just like Rama. And it says, "A bird with no legs is better than a bird with no wings," which I didn't really get at first until I was feeling down one day, and I realized that this idea of being spiritually crippled, of being broken, of having no legs, like of just crippled by resentment or whatever it is in life that's holding me down, and fear, inadequacy, and yet my spirit can still fly no matter how broken I feel. So it took me a while to decipher this one, but I really dig it, and Street Canoe's a badass, so check him out. Also, so let's get down to it. Still laughing that I skipped right by this chapter, my favorite ride in Disneyland. Pirates of the Caribbean. So this is Jason Adams. Trying to think what his Instagram handle is. I think it's the Kid Adams maybe, but I'm sure if you just Google it, you can find Jason Adams' Instagram and contact him through there. This is fantastic. He's just a great stencil artist, a great artist, great skateboarder, wonderful man, Rancid fan, punk rocker, awesome all around dude. So off we go to Neverland. Pirates of the Caribbean, the Horned Gods Leela. Holy song, yo ho, a pirate's life for me, Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh dang, I forgot to cue up the lyrics I was going to read for each ride so you could see how it ties in. But essentially there's a line in the song that I had originally pulled out that says something that, oh, but we're loved by our mommies and dads. A pirate's life for me kind of goes through this whole litany of you know, negative things like hijacking and pirating and larceny and all this stuff, you know, and then there's this sort of refrain where he says, oh, but we're loved by our mommies and dads. And, you know, I've already established through the puja my connection to the Divine Mother and the Father. Christ, of course, speaks of the Father, that relationship of Father and Son. And, the grandparents, the father, the mother, this idea of being connected to the holy family, to be a son of God, to embody that is very central, I think, in the experience of mysticism, of becoming a mystic, one who knows and has a direct relationship with God, or as we say in the 12-step community, a conscious contact with a higher power. He is the Father, and we are his children, or she is the mother. They are the parents, and we are the children. So, the Horned Gods Leela, Pirates of the Caribbean. There is a reason Pirates of the Caribbean is my favorite ride at Disneyland. It tells my story so well. This nod to Peter Pan's Neverland is the enactment of the Horned Gods Leela. Shiva, in the guise of Bacchus, tells his deathly tale. In the swampy calm of a bayou night, I am entranced by fireflies as our boat silently glides upon the water. Then suddenly, out of the shadows, Shiva's death head in a feathered pirate hat is illuminated. Avast, mateys, it be too late to alter course, is the last I hear before plummeting into a watery fall, not once but twice, deep into the third realm of iniquity. But wait, this appears to be no hell, for the halls of Hades are painted with delusion. A song is heard drifting through the air, and there is merriment and mirth betwixt the sound of distant thunder. Signs of death line the river's edge as my vessel sails on. A storm is well navigated, and I am soon met with visions of great fortune. Yet death still lurks patiently, like a man in repose upon a bed of treasure who never sleeps. Soon enough, the vantage opens upon a great battle. A town is at siege. Cannons blast all around, and the village burns. Amidst the chaos and destruction, there is great fanfare and indulgence. Men drink heartily of wine and pleasure. There are great casks of rum, and a red-haired woman in a scarlet dress leers invitingly as passers-by return her gaze with lust and greed. There is no judgment of morality or condemnation. Take what ye will seems to be the accepted creed. Fill your cups and fill them again before the light of dawn streaks across a blood-red morning. Roll with pigs in mud-filled sties and cajole fair maidens like tomcats in alleyways. Minds are hazy with thoughts unclear, and bellies swell with earthly appetites well fed. The din begins to quiet, and again I sit in cool darkness. The city has burned to the ground and is lost. All is gone to fire and havoc. Shiva's flames have engulfed all that is material, and I now drift languidly through the charred underbelly and sewered catacombs of the once vibrant village. In the mist and darkness, light has gone to die, yet a glow seems to emanate up ahead. Could it be the hope of morning? Alas, it is only prison bars, illuminated by the burning tallow of a single torch. Upon the wall, a man is chained, but his face is revealed to be that of the death head. Shiva's telling countenance, begging all to let go of the chains of earthly attachments, to release the tethers of lust and desire, which enslave the heart like a subservient dog left scavenging a body-strewn battlefield. Before my eyes, in an amber glow as warm as a Yule log upon the hearth, the scene twists and morphs again, and the very wolf of war is now a bashful pooch holding a ring of keys. Come on, boy, give it here. Perhaps the journey of pleasure-filled nights is only the readying for the door to be opened. Perhaps my loving mommy and dad are waiting in the dawn which follows the darkest night. Was it all a dream, a bizarre nightmare of vast pleasures and hungry ghosts? And there now, aren't they laughing and carrying on? And that chap there, could it be Captain Jack? Drink up, me hearties, I hear him slur. That old rapscallion, never was there a more jolly fellow. Back up the waterfall I go. Never seen that before. If you weren't there, you'd never understand. Sure, dead men tell no tales, but how would one know? For the stories of those who've died and been reborn just sound like gobbledygook to others who have not sailed the seas or even sat in the boat. Yet to all who have survived such journeys, a single glance between them tells the story of a lifetime. I invite you now to find a comfortable place to sit or even lay back. A nice chair, a cushion, perhaps on your bed where you're laying. It might actually be a good invitation to do some shavasana, to lay on your back and go into the death pose, arms at your side, eyes facing the ceiling, closed. And let yourself sink in to the mat or the bed or the chair, as if a corpse lying on a table, nowhere left to go and nothing left to be. No one left to be. Let us first sit in the darkness and just absorb the space. Come to know the cool stillness of darkness, that place of inner space. Like a comfortable bed, always there waiting. Be the corpse or the skeleton lying on the bed, and let your inner vision see what is inside, as if looking through a magnifying glass. Here in this dark space of comfort and relaxation, begin to watch the thoughts go by like passengers in a boat on a small canal, just floating by our bed of stillness. Thoughts come and thoughts go, just like the breath, in and out. The mind just works all on its own with no effort on our part. Just drifting by, down the canal and past our vantage. Out of the darkness, the thoughts come and sail and float on by back into the darkness. Notice if you have any tension in your jaw, in your face. Just let your expression fall away. Let your jaw loosen up. And just sink down further into the earth, upon whichever platform you are on. Imagine you're a body and how long it would take in stillness for your flesh to fall away from your bones. There's nothing to do and no one to be. Perhaps your thoughts are bouncing into each other like a little traffic jam along the water causeway. But we don't worry. We have all the time in the day. This is not about reaching a destination, but simply occupying the space of the journey, enjoying the ride. Inevitably, as the thoughts come in, some will be like shining treasures grabbing our attention. We may follow them. Some may seem like battles, like fights, like wars raging in our heads. We may be tempted to follow them as well. We may experience lustful thoughts or desires. They're all okay. It is simply the mind doing what the mind does. Dancing along, grabbing the attention of our ego, of ourself, these natural, instinctive desires for survival, for comfort, for abundance. Millions of years of evolution have honed these minds to attach to thoughts, to create scenarios, to be led by desire and aversion. We simply observe it all as we float along in this darkened space. We are now in the boat, floating along, watching the scenery as it comes and goes. Different leelas, different plays. We watch the dance, unattached and without judgment, simply observing and witnessing the mind as it flows. Whether we encounter great treasure-filled feelings of bliss, cold, empty feelings of isolation, the hot and steamy, sticky feelings of desire and lust, we simply observe the mind, meeting it with nothing but space and acceptance. We are just the skeleton, the corpse. There's nothing to attach to, no one left to be, nowhere to go. It is just a beautiful play of grace, of consciousness, to be the witness of the all, to return through this ego death to our true self, to our true divinity, to our true essence, which is oneness with the all. There is no longer any separation. We have returned to the earth. We have disintegrated into dust. We are now the sands on the beach. We are now the welcoming ground. For these pirate experiences that wish to come ashore. If we are plagued by negative thoughts, fears, anguish, we simply let that be. We bring it into our heart and let it stay there Let it do what it must do, for we have ceased fighting. We let these negative thoughts bring us back to our humility, to our imperfection, to our brokenness. Let them destroy us completely so we can open our hearts fully to the grace of God, of love, of divine being. This is the teaching of Shiva. We allow the harshness and the hardness of life to destroy whatever is blocking us from our true nature. We let Shiva's flames burn hot until the city is burned in rubble. And from this place, we begin to rise out of the darkness, out of the depths of the catacombs, in our boat, back to the light of day. Let us bring this feeling of surrender, of open-hearted love back to the world, back to the shore, back to Disneyland with the multitudes of people. We are now able to meet them as no one, as nothing, as emptiness, as pure grace. We see finally that it is through complete annihilation that the heart is so opened and so pure that it may be completely full and overflowing. What a magical transformation that is. Total fullness through total emptiness. What a play. What a dance. Welcome back, my friends. Go forth and prosper. I love you all. See you soon.